Yeah.
In a different context.
Ooh.
I mean, yapping's good. There's nothing like good yapping between.
Is that your microphone?
Yeah, this is my microphone.
You're about to shave your face.
I hold my microphone because like I can't just have it sit still.
Yeah. Oh, so you got to like do hands with it.
Yeah, because I do a lot of hand stuff, and like you gotta have the full immersion experience.
This thing's hideous.
Like it's like
it's so, but like I can't even get it out of the.
Neil Armstrong walked out of this in the '60s.
I got that from my partner, like who owns all the equipment, and I'm like, I cannot get it out of this damn fucking.
Ooh, that's so funny.
I can't even, like, this is the most awkward fucking video.
Record.
Yeah, we actually use lapels for our.
And we have like this is one that belongs to, and we got another one of these. We use these for
Zoom mics
out everywhere. Yeah, our whole fucking setup is in here. I mean, shit.
And we still don't have a name for this fucking room.
No, we don't.
But yeah, we do for my. So we did record in my bedroom one time, and we called it the Cork Port.
Yeah.
We have yet to determine a name for this. Anyway, gosh, here we go. Yeah.
And welcome to specifically Devoid.
Yeah.
Podcast.
It's a podcast.
Please welcome both Brett and Beaumont, the BrainBuster boys, recently affiliated with Visionaries Global Medias. You can listen to them every Sunday.
Yep.
11 a.m. is when
it's more like sometime in the afternoon. Call it 3-ish o'clock.
Yeah, before the sun goes down.
Yeah. Pre-dawn or dusk.
We're pretty much.
But yeah.
Set your phones to pre-dusk so you can listen to the BrainBuster boys.
And you got it like me.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
We're good, man.
We're pretty swell.
Yeah, things are
good.
good.
I mean, if you listen to about 2 seconds of the BrainBuster boys, you can tell that Ted Turner might as well be lining your pockets.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
You heard that we've got contracts with the execs. So yeah.
I mean, not to say anything, but Tony Khan is the only reason that I have a cell phone plan, and Chris Jericho is why I have my car. So not for nothing, but AEW pays for a lot of stuff in my house, apparently.
We got in a spat with them on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
a couple of weeks ago.
We got a talking to, is what I called it.
By TNT or by
AEW. TNT's just showing us nothing but love.
Yeah. Sometimes I worry that they're gonna like figure us out and get in on it.
Yeah.
But they haven't yet. But no, AEW. So it was whenever they were advertising for the one we did the live show on December the 23rd.
Dynamite wasn't live, and it's like immediately following the NBA.
Immediately following the Bucks and Celtics game. So I get on there, just like being a shit, and I go, "What if the Bucks and Celtics go into overtime?" ? And then they responded. They were like, "Dynamite will be delayed." That's why we say immediately after. Hopefully.
And then we're like, what if it goes into 176 overtime?
Yeah. We wrote this whole story of this one tweet story about it doing that. That was fun.
Yeah. We're like, I hope they don't block us yet.
Well, we made a bunch of memes too, because we just talked to the X-Men people that day.
Yeah, the
Lawalds. Yeah, the people who made the X-Men animated show. We brushed elbows with him.
We're still yapping. Let's get us back on.
I watched that game because Celtics fan. And I would have gone to overtime if Tatum didn't hit that shot.
Exactly,
that shot off of the glass. That was like, I was just like, way to start off the season, boys.
And it was funny because we were watching on my Sling account, which is 10 seconds delayed, whatever, maybe even more.
In two separate places. We were, he was here and I was in Louisville, but
Yeah, and it was just so we weren't synced, and then the shot happened. It was a big hoot.
Yeah,
I felt the disappointment in that guy's mind when he missed that last free throw shot.
Oh yeah. That was classic.
I don't
even remember who it was at this point.
Was it
Giannis?
It was Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
It was a BS foul. Everyone knows it was all ball. It was
Ball don't lie.
all over the place.
Ball don't lie. So are you guys NBA fans?
I am.
I mean, really. As you may have heard, we're now forced to cover it on our show.
At gunpoint in strangulation point.
Yeah, I mean, whoo.
But
somehow they got into my house.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen this week.
Yeah.
I'd rather hear about Ted Turner just like being in your house. Just, like, you don't cover that.
It was these guys in suits.
It's these guys, dressed in black suits.
Yeah.
Right.
It was wild.
Yeah,
hopefully Ted comes. I'd love Ted to come.
Yeah.
Unless he's here to
he's too busy making CNN work. They haven't figured out there's still a few bugs to work out in CNN.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it's like, how do we show more Jake Tapper and less everybody else?
Ted's not listening to this right now, or else we're all in trouble.
Yeah, because we're big.
Yeah. If Ted is listening, I think I mean I've been Jake Tapper in a couple improv scenes.
A couple.
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah, just but as a news report, it was a news thing. So like, I gotta raise my hand. I'm Jake Tapper, CNN. I mean, you got to be professional if you want to be taken seriously in improv.
I mean, you've already got the microphone,
right?
True.
Yeah, I think
like you said, we should just start a political podcast, Mike.
I mean, we almost started a microphone podcast here.
Jake Tapper's got a sassy Twitter. Like, especially lately, like he's
not
been
as
very
sassy as Greg Goldman, though.
Of course not. Yeah, but yeah,
I think Cooper stopped giving a crap in like 2018, though.
I was on his Wikipedia page today, actually.
How about
that? He what else is what led me there? I don't know what led me there. He broke up with his longtime boyfriend like this year.
Must have been a productive day of work for you today.
Yeah, a little bit.
So how'd you guys meet?
We met at a concert in Bloomington, Indiana in 2013.
Yeah.
Unknown Mortal Orchestra, Foxygen. Who else was there? Vampire?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
They were key.
He was at the Cafe Bluebird in Bloomington, Indiana. Yeah. And so I'm meeting my friend Rich, who I've known from college. And, I drive me and this girl, Shelby Budrick, down.
Just getting names.
Yeah. And so we go down and we meet at this hotel that I drove past multiple times. I had to actually live by that, and I would drive, to get on I-69 to leave there. I drove past that hotel tons, and and I went there and
essentially we have a strong mutual friend.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, we met then, and we've kind of, he lived in Louisville and then Southern Illinois for school, and I've always been like up here, and I've lived in other places, but we've always been friends. And tell him about your creative program.
I did an MFA in creative writing the past 3 years. Got done in May at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois, and did that and made sort of emphasized in fiction, and it was fun. But like one non-traditional thing we did was do audio and fiction and audio. So like podcasting being sort of a relatively new medium, we all kind of jumped on it. And I took classes in sort of media arts and learned a little bit more about sound editing and recording, and just worked with different editing programs. And we had to work on a podcast. We had a podcasting class, which was pretty dope. But yeah, I kind of moved back. I get done. Brett asked me, "Hey, you want to do this?" I obviously say yes.
And he hadn't watched wrestling in over a decade.
Yeah. So anytime you ask me a wrestling question, I'm going to look at him and say a stupid answer.
Or mispronounce the name.
Oh yeah, I love mispronouncing the name.
I mean, we were just going through the Impact stuff, and I didn't know like 10 people.
Yeah, yeah. We watched. I watched like that first Impact when Kenny crossed over, but I haven't really watched much since. I know.
I watched on Twitch.
Yeah, I know Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone are still doing those.
Yeah, I see that on Twitter.
Big geek.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that Impact's finally changing their commentary team because I cannot stand Josh Matthews.
Oh, they're getting rid of him finally.
He's moving up, so they're falling upwards. Josh Matthews is out, and the new commentary team is going to be Matt Straker and D'Lo Brown.
Wow, that's exciting. Hell, Striker's great. And did you guys watch Lucha Underground?
Oh, I love Lucha Underground.
Yeah, I mean he's a bit cheeseball, but he's awesome. He gets fired up.
I could never get into I watched one episode of Lucha Underground. I couldn't get into the office right above the ring. Like I couldn't get into Lucha Underground.
Wow, it's tremendous.
I bet if I watched it now, I would like it more because I would know more of the people because I didn't really watch indie stuff before. And now that I watch AEW, all those guys are indie. It's like indie wrestling.
And I've told him so many times, I saw this guy in Lucha Underground and this guy in Lucha Underground. So, yeah, I caught on it late, and I actually haven't completely finished. I'm pretty close, but it's tight. And I'm glad to hear that's the new team. D'Lo Brown should be interesting.
So excited. He's the champion of Europe.
You got it right. Still in 2021.
I wonder if there's anybody who knows Jake Hager from Lucha Underground and not WWE.
You mean Jake Strong?
Hey, that's 5-star wrestling legend Jake Hager.
And wasn't he their last champion, or did someone? I think he wasn't he?
He was the last Lucha Underground champion. I know that.
That's what I meant. How insane! And I watched some of season 4, but pretty wild. Dario Cueto, he's the proprietor of Lucha. So he literally had
Is he the sole proprietor?
He was mixed up in a bunch of malarkey as Derek and
but
he ended up getting killed.
Oh really?
Yeah, they killed him off, and then his weird brother.
Oh, it killed in kayfabe or killed in?
Yeah.
Okay. He went all the way there. They wow.
So it was written like a television show. Oh, and the backstage promos were shot like TV. And then Dario Cueto's office was literally attached to next to the ring.
It was just a different set.
Yeah, no, it was next to the ring. So he'd come out and announce a match, but people would always go through the office, and it was just a big geek. Yeah.
There's some crazy storyline stuff at one point. Didn't Luchasaurus get beheaded?
I did not catch. So I'm I watched a lot early in 2020. I got through half or a little more of season 3. So he had just arrived, but that may make me want to watch more of the beheading.
I mean, Impact started killing people off too.
Really?
Johnny Swinger got killed off, and then Tommy Dreamer had a match. It was Tommy Dreamer and Larry D. They had a match, and if Larry D lost, he got arrested.
That's funny. Yeah, a lot of people. I remember, didn't Matanza Cueto start murdering people in season 4?
Probably.
Yeah.
So will WWE and AEW not go there? Is it a line that they won't cross?
Well, interestingly enough, WWE did it with Vince McMahon. He blew up in a car, but not the day before Chris Benoit died.
Oh,
so they bagged the angle because Vince was dead and he had to come out on Raw and say, we play character. So pretty wild stuff. And that was before they knew it was a murder.
Yeah.
But
and not to be political or anything, but Trump actually called Vince McMahon to make sure that he was really alive.
That is exactly. Because people were concerned that Vince McMahon was actually dead.
911 they policed that night from wherever they were, got a lot of calls being yo, somebody blew up, you should check into this. And WWE had to post a statement that was nobody's actually dead. It's all entertainment purposes.
And then Chris Benoit did it was just crazy the timing. I think I'm right on that.
It was the show afterwards.
Correct.
That was Monday, and they found Benoit on I think Sunday because that was the night of the ECW show.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, pretty well. So WWE went there in 2007.
See, I wonder who the first one was. When they crossed that line and what reaction was, because I'm sure people sunk their teeth into it a bit, but I bet some people were this is disgusting.
That's a great question. What was the first wrestling murder, so to speak?
Probably in the NWA.
Yeah.
You would, when those crowds, like, they probably were rabid enough that
yeah.
kill people themselves.
I would assume it would either be that or like circus days. And like that's how you like they would return at like the next like strongman show.
Mhm.
Like I've returned from the dead.
Like George
like
Paul Bosch.
Yeah, like killing somebody off is like a real like Shakespearean kind of thing. And
For sure.
Their return is like even more Shakespearean.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Shikara did it at some point.
For sure. And that, you know, I've not seen like really any Chikara, but have been reading a little more about it, and like I need to.
Well,
I think
when you do that too, you cross the line where like you've upped the stakes beyond a certain ceiling or threshold, and like you can't like undo that.
Yeah.
You know, like the stakes are like like you have a new ceiling now.
Yeah.
So it's like your writing has to contend with that and deal with that, and you know, like when you do
you've
that,
broken a barrier.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, the impact on an after has to be like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and WWE, like even in 2020 alone, has gotten rid of Rey Mysterio's eye, and like he was just like kayfabe blind for a long part of 2020, and Randy Orton like burned Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
and he hasn't come back.
Yeah, the Fiend
like he doesn't exist right now. Like Bray Wyatt hasn't been seen since he got burned alive.
It's current. Then.
Yeah, I think the
Fiend got thrown off.
Dead.
Who got thrown off a building earlier this year? Didn't a couple people?
I think Rey Mysterio too. They just
This is just commonplace now.
So yeah, as we
my God,
yeah, it's happened a lot in 22. Yeah, WWE did like their Money in the Bank, and I didn't even watch it, but like they climbed to the top of the WWE headquarters, and like Rey Mysterio and I think someone else got thrown off the building.
Yeah.
It was Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black. Both got thrown off by Baron Corbin. Like it was nothing.
Yeah, Baron Corbin. What a ceremonial for Aleister
I hope
Black.
they never fuck up one of those moves.
Yeah,
You know?
for real.
And then,
like doing it somewhere and then cutting away, and they have like a shitty body double.
at WrestleMania, Undertaker killed AJ Styles, and he didn't come back for a while.
2020 death.
The Undertaker died and came back in the middle of that match.
That was a great match.
Wow.
And I mean, John Cena is probably dead too. Firefly Funhouse 2020 again. So, and maybe it's not the 30s. Maybe it's just 2020s.
What's the next barrier beyond death?
Well,
you know, like, you know, what is like
Super death.
the next like fucked up thing to do to somebody?
I think ghost, like somebody like being dead and then coming back as a ghost, like not being able to wrestle, but like your manager's a ghost.
Yeah,
certain people can see them, certain people can't. That could be.
I mean, Firefly Funhouse in and of itself was whatever the fuck that was. I loved it, and I don't even watch WWE right now, but I loved it. Like that was groundbreaking and innovating in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't a match, but they called it a match. It felt like an acid trip, to be honest.
I guess the furthest line they could cross probably is like legitimately like doing something to Vince McMahon on like Raw to draw ratings. Like we're gonna publicly castrate Vince McMahon on live in the third hour instead of watching college football. Watch Vince McMahon.
Like Val Venus.
Like some sort of amputation.
Yeah.
You know,
Val Venus,
like
Val Venus got his dick cut off by Kai and Ty in like 99 or 2000.
Oh,
I choppy, your pee-pee. Classic stuff.
How did it come to that? Or how did because Venus runs the team?
Oh, I mean, Kate.
This dude's wife. And yeah, they had a big samurai sword and it cut the black like right as he cut down. That was great. Yeah.
Is Katie Vick the furthest thing that like WWE has ever done? Because like that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You want to explain that to our friend Beaumont there?
I mean, I don't even. They like took a they did some things with a corpse, right? I don't know if I've ever actually seen it. I've just like read about it and heard about it.
Like necrophilia.
Yeah. So Triple H basically was just like Kane. Killed his girlfriend and then had necrophilia with his dead girlfriend, and then Triple H in a casket pretended to fornicate with a mannequin that had like cheerleader clothes on that was like masquerading as a person. And so That's pretty. I would say necrophilia is a pretty far. Like I know it's not.
Yeah, well, I think you could do it now. Like certainly, I think somebody online would lose their like. You know,
that was probably
like somebody
what,
would like
04,
yeah.
5, 6, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly.
So yeah, like you know, before like you know.
So that's a pretty far barrier.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, they could always just straight up do a loser dies match, like the loser loses their life.
Yeah.
Public execution.
Oh yeah, just you know, like lethal injection.
Yeah.
Oh, they get the electric chair out, like bust that.
Oh yeah,
out,
absolutely.
Strap them
I
down.
mean, I know necrophilia is bad, but like the custody of Dominic ladder match might be the most fucked up thing.
Yes.
Oh, they fought for custody of a kid.
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio's kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was like what, 6, 7?
Yeah, he
like that.
couldn't be more than 10 years old.
Oh yeah, I think he was. Yeah, he was a part of this angle, and now he made his WWE debut this year. Pretty fucking good.
Wow.
You know, the little bit I saw of him. But yeah, that's a good one for sure. Custody of Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon, as you can tell, pretty much all bets are
Yeah,
on.
I think incest is like the one thing that they won't do.
No, they did it with Paul Burchill. They did it.
Oh my
God.
They had Paul.
Yeah.
They had Paul Burchill come out with his manager, who was also his girlfriend, who was also his sister.
No, but I mean like actual incest, like Dominic and Aaliyah like making out. Like, that's probably too far.
You start wanting there.
Well, so to answer your question, AEW, I don't think will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the original.
Do you think
point.
their audience is like, you know, like not, you know, just younger, but like, you know, us and then like people younger than maybe WWE, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, they crushed, as we know, they crushed the 18 to 49 demo every week.
Yeah.
Even beneath that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think they still have a pretty decent, like, kids audience, but like WWE's definitely, you know, it's PG, it's a little more tailored towards kids, but clearly they still do fucking weird shit.
Yeah, I think AEW tries to like spread itself thin in terms of content because like I'm not sure if you've ever seen All In, Beaumont.
He's heard all about it because I was there.
What was the one thing I watched about a year ago at Eddie's?
Oh, he was with us for the first Double or
Oh,
Nothing.
okay.
Maybe.
So,
Okay. So All In, like the predecessor, it's kind of spelled out what AEW is going to be like. It's going to be like silly stuff. It's going to be like serious stuff. It's going to be lucha stuff. It's going to be like strong style.
Yeah.
And so like I think AEW does a good. It's to their betterment and their detriment that they spread, because you can't really say that anything's an AEW match because they kind of do like lucha and strong style.
Yeah.
And like
It's a good way of putting it.
NWA and like sports entertainment. And like the thing that they're doing with Shaq right now, I think is probably the weirdest thing that they've ever done.
Yeah, and that did not work very well. Like I would like
the Shaq. Yeah. I thought that was pretty
terrible.
Like I would love to see Brandy versus Shaq. I think that could be the weirdest thing that we could do.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a great point what you said there. Like it is like a little bit of a lot of different styles.
Mm-hmm.
Were you guys at All In?
No, we did go. We did attend the second ever AEW Dynamite taping though.
Okay,
we were. That was in Boston.
Boston, okay. I was at All In, and then I was at Dynamite 4 or 5 in Pittsburgh, and then Indianapolis, like November of 19 as well. Man, I miss it.
The most notable thing happened was the the naming of the Inner Circle, that promo. It's probably the most important thing. And Darby Allin jumping from a skateboard off the ramp was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there was Kenny Omega and Joey Janela in Lights Out.
That was in a dark match too. Which was insane.
I was at their Dynamite match. The one was in Pittsburgh, and that was the Cody going up to the box to attack the Inner Circle and punch the door. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, we also saw it was a really good match. Jericho and Sammy Guevara against Dustin Rhodes and Hangman. Like that was a really good. I'm pretty sure that got rated like 4.5 stars. Like it was.
I barely even remember that.
And
at the indie show I was at, opened with Ray Phoenix versus Nick Jackson, which was pretty tight. Ray Phoenix. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
It's the singular of Ray Phoenix.
Yeah. Ray Phoenix.
Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, I miss going to wrestling shows. Fuck.
Micah, wasn't Private Party in the Bucks at that show too?
Yeah, that was the opener.
Oh man, talk about a great match.
That was a pop and a half, man.
That was an awesome match. Holy shit.
Wrestling shows are always, you always have to hedge your bets depending on what show you go to. Because like I've been to the AEW shows and that's been great, but I also saw Brock Lesnar win Money in the Bank live, and that was not fun.
Which year was that?
That was 2019. That was in Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay, I was gonna say I was already gone at that point. I was at we talked about this on one of the shows we just did. I was at the first Money in the Bank in Kansas City where The Miz and Kane won. And Kane cashed in that night on Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, we Bailey cashed in at the Money in the Bank we went to.
Oh, nice.
After she won. That was cool.
And then I was also at Hell in the Cell 2012 in Atlanta, home of Turner. And it was main evented by CM Punk and Ryback in the Cell.
Sorry.
Not a good show. I think, like, looking back, I think the best I'm struggling.
Yeah.
The best match was like Big Show versus Sheamus, like in the opener. They actually like had a compelling match somehow. I kind of want to go back and not really watch that show, but look, it was pretty dog shit. But I did get to meet R-Truth and like Ricky Morton or not Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, the less cool of them.
That's sick.
It was so I lived in Atlanta. I worked for the Braves actually. So Turner's been in my blood for a long time. 2012, and I didn't know any wrestling fans down there, and I literally just hit up this guy John Canton. He runs this site TJR Wrestling, and I'm like, hey dude, do you know anyone that lives in Atlanta, wrestling fans? And I ended up meeting this guy. His name was Corey. He was a bail bondsman, and would just like go to Buffalo Wild Wings with he and his friends who were like indie wrestlers in this tiny ass indie in Atlanta that I don't even remember the name of it. I would go to a show, there were like 10 people there. It was hilarious. But yeah, and I ended up going to this Hell in the Cell 2012 with him, went to his bail bond office, like, which was a geek, and like he wanted to get there early. Like I was never one for like going to meet the wrestlers. But it was pretty cool, you know. We fucking stood behind a fence and like Scott Steiner was there just walking by. So but yeah, the show, dog shit.
My brother almost met R-Truth once because he went to the to some SmackDown in Manchester, New Hampshire, and my mom and him were staying at a hotel, and R-Truth almost did a classic R-Truth where he walked into the elevator with them and then went, oh shit, forgot my bag, and left.
That's great. I have a picture with them somewhere where we're both throwing up the West Side symbol.
Oh, yeah.
So I might have to try and unearth that one and tweet it out.
I've got one of me doing that too.
Oh yeah,
except I was 8.
With who? You find it.
Well, my cousin's doing like the rock eyebrow. Like, you know, there are genes for being able to do that.
Oh yeah,
I can't do it. Yeah.
Something that came out today, we get these press releases from AEW because we're in the pockets deep. Is the AEW Dynamite the AEW Dynamite Awards distributed exclusively on Bleacher Report? By the time this goes out, this might be old news, but this came out like today.
Okay, yeah, I haven't even seen it.
We were just wondering if you guys wanted to like help us vote for which ones they got like nominations and everything.
Yeah, that sounds great. I wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah, go for it.
The best moment on the mic, the nominations are MJF, the "We Deserve Better" speech. I'm pretty sure that's on Moxley. That's his game things. Cody Rhodes accepts dog collar match. Moxley accepts Inner Circle invitation.
That's my top thus far of those 3.
Brandy Rhodes confronts Jade Cargill.
What?
And Orange Cassidy debates Chris Jericho.
I mean, that was pretty good too. I think
I've only seen one of them.
My vote, which isn't on the list, is Eddie Kingston's "Welcome to Dynamite." Like that was awesome. Because I never seen him before. I'd heard of him, but like, what an introduction! That's my real vote. But I would go with the Moxley joins the Inner Circle probably.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines of 2020 was like, all these people that you faced before have been children. I'm a grown ass man, and I'm gonna kick your ass. I love that. Eddie Kingston. We haven't recorded this yet, but my promo of the year was Eddie Kingston in Progress, which is British Indies. For anyone who doesn't know, he has this like epic monologue saying like, I'm tired of making stars, and like I'm better than everybody in AEW. I'm better than everybody in NXT. I could kick Adam Cole's ass. Like it's so epic. I could send you guys the link.
Please do. I would like to see it. And I feel like I heard about that.
Yeah, as he's DDTing Ilya Dragunov because he's just like unconscious. And he's like keeps getting up. He's just like, I'm tired of this. And he keeps DDTing him. So he just can just have silence. It's
I would
fantastic.
love to see that. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send that to you. Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, Orange Cassidy debates Chris Jericho. I just really like Eric from Wyoming.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Eric Bischoff coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did I see that?
But
I think
You
he did.
saw
That's
that,
the only
yeah.
time he's ever talked on the show.
Yeah, I
right?
think you
okay,
saw
I've
that.
seen that.
Yeah, because we talked about potentially
Yeah.
using him for a Pepsi or Mountain Dew,
Oh,
or that
yeah.
he could have been a candidate. But,
Yeah.
I love every time they put Orange Cassidy on the commentary desk and he's just sitting there, not actually
He's
talking.
just taking a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could tell they were showing that his microphone was unplugged.
Yeah, I mean, just Orange Cassidy, what a fun gimmick to have. Like you get to be lazy. Like
And he just created, like there's like a 7-minute video online called like The Comedy and Wrestling about Orange Cassidy. It was just like about his indie shit and how he got started.
Is
It's
it
just like
Fire Ant or Red Ant?
Oh,
or Soldier Ant?
it's
something
just like
that?
good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Like obviously he's a great wrestler and like what a gimmick that probably shouldn't have ever worked, but he just made it work. And
yeah, when I saw him at, I think it was All Out, like diving, like doing a suicide dive with his hands in his pocket.
Yeah,
and I
that
was
was
like, it
sick.
must be amazing if you can do stuff in like with your hands in your pockets, because I would think that you would need like your arms and stuff for just balance purposes.
yeah, it's impressive through and through.
All right. The biggest surprise, Matt Hardy's debut. Jake the Snake Roberts confronts Cody. Brody Lee as the Exalted One. Sting's debut. And Miro revealed as Best Man.
Boy, I wish they were doing more with that overall, but not even, timeliness aside, I got to go with Brody Lee because I think everyone thought it was going to be Matt Hardy. And that was just a very nice swerve that they were able to pull off.
I loved how they had like the light bulbs hanging from the ceiling too.
Yeah.
As they were revealing Brody.
And that was their first empty arena show as well, which was just like great. It opened with, I think, didn't Cody cut that promo to start it? And it was an awesome show. And Matt Hardy also debuted at the end. So, yeah, that's my favorite. What do you guys think?
I agree. Absolutely.
I agree, but there's something like special about Jake the Snakes Roberts confronting Cody and like calling him Caesar and like you never turn your back on a man you're not afraid of, and he just flips the mic and turns around.
Jake had a sneaky good year, but like they would just disappear for too long of stretches, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that like going up, because I'm pretty sure he was like in the crowd. It was like one of their last the last like arena shows with Jake like in the crowd, and Cody was like facing somebody of the inner circle probably.
I do remember that. Yeah, Jake when he first started coming on, like it was pretty good stuff for sure.
Credit to AEW for just like doing like what they could. Like WWE is like doing okay, but I feel like AEW in like this time is like given so many opportunities. Like Dark has just become like 30 matches.
Yeah, and I mean I don't watch it really, but like good for them. And like your guy TK like was all about like keeping people employed and not laying people off, and not only that, like kind of employing more people and giving people like Anna Jay and Pillman and Garrison like opportunities that are now big on the main show. I mean, Pillman and Garrison were just in the main event angle last week, getting their asses beat, but it was them.
My personal best friend, Griff Garrison.
Yeah.
I saw you guys had an interview with them. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, great, really nice guy. Oh my god.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
How'd you score that one?
Sometimes you got connections. Yeah.
No, I actually had like Pillman is from this area, and actually like the jacket he was wearing last week, Dixie Heights, was like my high school's rival. So it was just like funny to see him in a Dixie Heights or Coxie Heights, as we like to call it, jacket getting his ass beat. I'm like, now that is pretty funny and not something I expected to see. So like I know like someone who knows him type of deal. So like hopefully we can get him on at some point. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, and we'll have to check it out.
Breakout Star, male, because they got male and female. Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Eddie Kingston, John Silver. This is so hard for me.
Now
That's
is a tough question.
If I were gonna have to pick, I'd have to say Eddie Kingston, John Silver, like dead neck. But like I think Eddie Kingston just beats him out just because of all those promos and that I Quit match with Moxley. Like, oh my god, like that's such a revolutionary way to do I Quit. Like, I'm going to do this to you.
Yeah.
If you don't, unless you say I quit, and then like I'm gonna like him crying at the end, and like all those promos about like I know how much this means to you. That's why I have to beat you.
The promos were so good up to that, and I love that Cody match too. Like the thumbtacks on television, like that's not something I expected. It was Orange, Silver, Kingston, and who was the fourth?
Orange, Darby, Kingston.
Darby. I feel like Darby kind of broke out more in 2019, frankly. I'm going like I fucking love Silver, but yeah, I'm with you. I think it's got to be Kingston.
Yeah.
And Cassidy as well, I think was more 20. Yes, he kind of entered the main event in 20, but
bigger matches and winning. I mean, Silver's lost a shit ton.
And Kingston, got to the company and was in a main event pay-per-view within like 3 months. And main evented Dynamite with like he came to the top pretty quickly. So that's my pick.
If you've seen Being the Elite, the Brody Lee one, that like promo to like that speech, like I was just like, man,
like rally together, let's love each. Yeah, fucking, I'm getting goosebumps right now.
That was insane. Like I was just like, I feel that. Like,
he's amazing. We're putting over Eddie Kingston big time here, and good thing because he might beat our asses just like. There's
always that joke on Twitter, like someone's got to tell Eddie Kingston this stuff isn't real. Like it looks like, because like I mean you can kind of like tell like in the way that he like talks in like off-screen interviews that like he cares so deeply about this stuff, and like he thinks about this stuff like all out. Like someone compared him to Stone Cold, and he was just like, that's probably like the biggest compliment I've ever gotten. I was just like, wow, like what a salt of the earth kind of guy.
And I just love the story, and that he literally had to sell his gear to pay his mortgage before getting the AEW job, and like just on a human level, like I'm just so happy for the guy as well.
Yeah, it sucks that he's like a heel, but he's like a sympathetic heel where like you understand where he's coming from, where like he's had to scratch and claw. Both in real life and kayfabe.
Yeah, and he's not really like a prick about. Like he at least can justify his actions to some degree, unlike just normal shithead heels.
Yeah, and it being like the whole family thing, like I thought that was cool. I thought that there should have been like more of a breakup thing than like but I mean AEW, they can do some wrong stuff. It's okay.
Yeah, and I also loved At Full Gear because he's always had the black and gold gear for Kawada that he had the Misawa colors on. I don't know how much you guys watched or followed like old All Japan, but I got real into that like the last couple of years.
Breakout Female Star. There's Hikaru Shida, Anna Jay, Tay Conti, Big Swole, Penelope Ford.
Wow, there's 5 choices, huh? I feel like it's got to be Anna Jay. I mean, she was like 20, 21 years old and had like, 3 matches before this. And now, like, she looks pretty. I mean, first off, she's beautiful and she can work. And she's got a bit of her voice is kind of weird, but she's got a big personality, like a good personality. And she's just like, you can tell she's gotten so much better, too.
Yeah, and she started wrestling in 2020.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the impressive part about it. Like, yeah, that's my pick. And I think Shida broke out last year. And like, who was it? Penelope, she's good, but I don't think she's on that level.
Right.
Big Swole as well. Like, she's all right, but I haven't really seen enough of her yet. And like the matches have kind of been disappointing.
Yeah, they have that Baker angle and then just sort of dropped Big Swole.
Yeah, they had the dentist's office match or whatever they called it on the pre-show Full Gear, which was terrible.
I'm pretty sure that's one like my worst matches of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And like they were building that angle very deeply on Dynamite with like, Britt in the throne or what have you. Like they were building it and like that's it.
There was also the 3-on-1 handicap match, which was equally as terrible.
So I don't need that. I didn't. He's just not seen any of this.
No,
But you're
well,
fortunate.
like whenever we find out who wins, I'm going to say I voted for them and rub it in your faces if you got it right. 100%.
So there's the High Flyer Award. Oh, Biggest Beatdown. I missed Biggest Beatdown.
Oh.
Inner Circle jumps Orange Cassidy. Dark Order attacks the Nightmare Family. Nyla Rose puts Riho and Sheeta through the tables. I don't even remember this happening.
I kind of remember it. It was like in February or January. I do, because she got like suspended for 30 days, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Cage sneak attacks Jon Moxley and the Nightmare Family in Inner Circle brawl.
I mean, the most memorable is definitely Dark Order attacking the Nightmare Family after Brody, like at least to me, like choking out. Didn't they choke out Arn? And they beat the
and then they like kill Brandy.
Oh, yeah, Anna Jay choked out Brandy. It was like the end of it, kind of. But they beat up Arn, I remember, which was great. Yeah,
Dustin Rhodes is like coming out and like all the minions are like attacking him.
Yeah, the creepers, where they've dissipated.
Yeah. I want them back. Like I think that'd be funny if like
they used to have like a ton of people in masks that like were just probably AEW dark like jobbers, but like they were known as the creepers, and they were just like kind of like walking like on their hands and shit, and like putting their hands on their head. But it was just like cool dynamic.
Yeah.
They were like a throne for All Out. I think they were like a throne for Evil Uno. It was really weird.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
and he sat on them.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then at the end of
the be on the bed like dying, you know.
Yeah.
At the
end of 2019, I think they dropped it because at the end of 2019, they like did this angle where like the Dark Order beat up like the Elite, but like in such a bad way.
Yeah.
There was the guy that was like not even punching Dustin.
That's right. Yeah, a video came out of like one of the creepers trying to punch Dustin Rhodes, and it was literally like this. He was just whiffing. Good call, man. I've forgotten about a lot of 2020, I guess.
Yeah,
I can't believe
it's 2019, so it's okay. You can forget.
Oh yeah, it was like right at the end. Yeah, like you're mentioning this stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, that did happen. But
the transformation of the Dark Order from like just kind of the weird shitty gimmick of Uno and Grace into like the huge cult thing that was kind of funny on Being the Elite was so cool to watch.
Yeah, and then now like babyface, like, you know, as they're kind of headed, and like they've kind of dropped the cult thing too. But yeah, like it's been a fascinating arc for that. Like, yeah, if you saw the Dark Order from the beginning, you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Because it was just Evil Uno and Steve
Grace
and
the
like, creepers.
Well, now it's like a at least when we watch it, like a, you know, thing of humor.
Like if you watch Being the Elite too, like it's straight comedy on there. And like then, you know, the lawnmowers thing translated to TV, and anyone who doesn't watch Being the Elite is like, what the fuck are they talking about buying 6 lawnmowers?
Well, if Silver's like leading them now too, it's like it's hard to like gonna be to make him like a dead ass serious character.
Exactly. You know? The future of the Dark Order 2021 is gonna be fascinating. I can't wait.
I think Dark Order might get the biggest pop when they return to like live audiences.
I think you're right. Silver,
one of the biggest pops.
Like Silver, you know, I want to go back and vote for him, but yeah, like his trajectory. I told Bo, I'm like, he was a strict jobber for like over a year, like didn't win a single match, and like it's just now starting to win. But like he made his name on Being the Elite, no doubt. Like he's just the standout. Yeah. Well, Mr. Brody, of course.
Yeah, they did. They like did a whole angle with him and Reynolds at like the beginning of 2019, at the beginning of Dynamite, where like there was like this infomercial guy who was like. It was like one of those weird med TV things where it's just, and it brings up all the side effects, and there was like all these side effects, and it was just like you might hallucinate, you might do evil things. Yeah,
and like pulling like the guitar lessons tab thing off, like join the Dark Order, and like they would target these just like down and out losers and like have them in these cult meetings, and it was bizarre.
which is an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
It's a very cool thing to do, and I kind of wish that they did that again because it's kind of like a nice maybe round thing.
Like
And
they picked Dark Order lose. Which is
and they were
other than the
well. So when Brody was
Yeah.
around, like he was obviously TNT champ, and they gained a lot, but you missed all that.
Yeah.
And then like he was away, and they kind of started losing. But yeah, I mean, for whether you like it or not, like Dark Order from start to now and for the future has been a fascinating thing. You know, like as we talked about, it's kind of been like up and down and around and all over the place, but they've always been a factor. No doubt.
Yeah, but one of the disappointing things though in the Brody Lee era is that like Stu Grayson and Evil Uno like never wrestled really. Like they would wrestle on Dark occasionally, but like because like John Silver and Alex Reynolds are like so funny and Brody Lee is like clearly like the dominant one, like there was kind of nowhere for them to be, but like they were the original two, and I kind of felt bad because like Stu Grayson is really good. And, like nothing to Evil Uno, but like Stu Grayson like can do some really good moves. He's got a cool moveset.
When like, you know, they were getting pretty pushed out of the gate as a tag team. You know, I know they had a pretty strong record, but I think weren't they out of the country for COVID for a bit, or am I wrong on that?
Yeah, because they're Canadian.
Yeah, so I think that was part of it, like that they were gone for a while. And then you're right, like they came back and like that throughout that time, you know, Silver and Reynolds' star was kind of rising and they just weren't around. And now it's so funny that on BTE, like Uno used to be like above John Silver for sure. And now it's like Stu Grayson is like the bottom other than 5. John Reynolds is clearly the star. You are rubbing off on me, Christ!
Like I'm going to start answering all their questions now.
I'm tired of talking. So no, I'm kidding.
All right, well, I'll just do the last one because it's probably the one that you know, Beaumont. It's the pay-per-view moment of the year. Did you watch the pay-per-views?
He only saw Full Gear.
Oh yeah.
So he hopped on literally like mid-October.
As far as I'm concerned, AEW has 7 episodes in one pay-per-view.
Well, more than that, because we had some off. So you probably see like 10 or 11 Dynamite.
Something like that, yeah.
A couple of these have happened at Full Gear. So there's the Stadium Stampede.
Oh, is this match of the year?
No, this is pay-per-view moment of the year.
Oh, I thought you just said pay-per-view of the year. But okay, pay-per-view moment of the year. Let's hear it.
Stadium Stampede.
Fucking great.
Moxley wins the AEW World Championship.
Also tight.
Shida wins the AEW Women's Championship.
When did that even happen?
It happened at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, it's not that. That's not the answer.
Omega and Page defeat the Young Bucks, which Beaumont, you need to watch that match. That's one of the greatest matches I've ever seen.
Revolution. No, that was the.
Oh, you had it on the. The Shroom
Revolution.
Oh, on the Google Doc.
Yeah, I think you watched.
It's one of the greatest matches I've ever seen.
I agree. Yeah, it's like in my top 15, 20 of all time for sure.
Before, because that was before we even started.
Yeah,
he had this giant ass Google Doc.
I know. It's no. Okada Omega 4. I know you guys like to. I know you like that a lot.
That's
but, I mean, this is like, but it's like the same like levels of like. There's so much like ethos and like there's so much backstory in that one match alone.
Yeah, and Hangman Page in that match. Holy shit! Just what a performance.
If there was
I have my number 2 match of last year behind Naito and Okada at the Dome, which made me cry. So. I guess Revolution, I kind of shed a tear as well. Just a little.
Darby Allin wins the TNT title from Cody.
I mean, it was cool, but I wouldn't say moment of the year by any means.
And the Young Bucks win the AEW World Tag Team Championship.
Stadium Stampede is the correct answer here of those choices, which was also on the Google Doc, which you had. So it's literally just a match in the Jaguars Stadium, and it's insane.
Yeah, and they just like wrestled. There's like a ring in like on like the 50, like on like the Jaguars logo, and then like
their horses or bison or wilderness or something like that.
Yeah, Hangman Page comes out on
a horse,
and then he has a fight with Jake Hager in the bar, and then Kenny it's crazy.
Jericho hits the Jaguars mascot with the. Then he gets penalized by the referee.
Yeah, Aubrey Edwards throws a flag. There was
Matt Jackson does the suplexes across the entire football field.
suplexing him 100, which I think was fabricated a bit, but it was still
probably.
tight.
So Beaumont, what like got you besides the podcast? What got you back into wrestling after being out for like 10 plus years?
The podcast.
The podcast, pretty much.
You would not be watching if it wasn't for this.
But no, like I could, like I come from a writing background, and I appreciate kind of the dramatic form of all this, and it's just an opportunity just to to have a really good time. It's I
think you've been enjoying yourself.
I have been enjoying myself.
I forced him into it.
Yeah, you did at gunpoint with the
Turner.
No,
just
Turner
like the Turner guy. Turner's forced us
into it. No, I watched like Attitude Era growing up, so it's not like this is like a complete maiden voyage.
Tell them what show you.
Oh yeah, I've been to one wrestling show. Yeah, and it was 1999 WCW Uncensored in Louisville. Yeah, and I saw like Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair fight in a cage match,
which was a first blood cage match, which did not end on first blood.
Yeah, but no, it's it's like it would be harder for me to watch if it was like the really like even for Attitude Era, it's really dark macho like shit. But it's kind of like fun and colorful, and you sort of borrows from all these different areas. And,
like, what'd you think of? I think he really enjoyed that Phoenix Kenny match.
Yeah, that one was really good.
Yeah, that got 5 stars from Meltzer.
Do what?
That got 5 stars from Meltzer.
I know. I was surprised. I had it.
Yeah, I thought it was a really great match. I mean, like Ray Phoenix is probably one of like the best athletes. At least, like that match with Nick Jackson a couple years. I
was at that show. Yeah, that indie show. Wild.
That was, that was really good. No, it happened on Dynamite. I'm pretty sure too.
Yeah, it was Indianapolis Dynamite. I was there. Yeah, it was sick.
What's your? So I have a lot of bad wrestling takes. What's your best bad wrestling take?
Give me an example. What do you mean?
Like in 2019, I was dead set that Rey Mysterio was going to win the Royal Rumble just because I felt like it.
Oh, wow. Man, I don't know. I'd have to think because I'm always right. No.
I had a great bad one last week. The one with the view from the top rope guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? It was Kenny's going to lose the belt
you just said month. Yeah, I don't. Well, you initially just said it would be a short reign, but then bet that it would be
the next month. Yeah, and if I win, meaning if Kenny loses, like my face goes on the VGM world or becomes the VGM.
Yeah,
world.
So his head will become the VGM Globe logo. Kenny Omega happens to lose the belt in the next 3 weeks.
Thinking of my nose will make a very good South America.
Oh goodness. I might have to get back to you on that one. I can't really think of one.
We haven't done. A lot of people do that.
Yeah,
we haven't tried to do that on our show yet.
Bad takes.
Well, we need to do questions too.
Yeah,
we like assault our audience with shit and take no questions.
That's the thing. We did it this week
because
we had leftovers from View from the Top Rope, and it was pretty tight.
Yeah, we did.
Assuming Turner doesn't get their hands on our show too much, I think we'll be adding in some questions. Some interview, we've pretty much everyone we've been on with in these last couple weeks, we obviously want to have on our show.
Sure, yeah.
So when we do get interviews and whatnot up and running, we would love to have you.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we are, as we determined, I think we talked about this off air. We are brain children.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. The brain children.
Yeah. In our father.
It's way better than Devoiders. That's what I originally called our fans.
Oh,
I
nice.
couldn't think of anything. So
what do we call ours? We call ours BBB guns.
The Butterfinger BBBs.
Yeah. There was one other one I came up with. I'm forgetting about it now, but those are the main two.
We're also going to go after the big baller
and the better. Yeah, and we actually have a lawyer on retainer. You know what his name is? We're not kidding. It's Brian H. Buster. And we found him.
If that isn't a TV ad, lawyer.
Literally, it came anytime I would text BrainBuster boy, sometimes it would autocorrect to Brian.
I feel like I write Brian more than Brain.
Yeah, and we were just geeking out about Brian and Buster, so we did a quick Google search, and there he was.
Yeah, Brian H. Buster, Esquire, Austin. Austin. Yeah.
So we're gonna get him on the phone.
Yeah. At least he's gonna send us a funny denial email.
Yeah, we do.
So it's gonna that'd be good.
We're probably gonna bring that name up on the show at some point, and we do plan to call him on live air at some point.
It'd be very funny if he was like a divorce attorney or like something that had nothing to do with like regular like civil stuff.
Yeah.
Just a big ambulance chaser.
Maybe we'll get Brian.
Copyright law. I do not deal with these petty things. Honestly, have no idea why they're still promoting the NWA. I think it's nice. They're promoting like 3 shows at the same time. I think AEW needs to chill out.
But if it brings us more Thunder Rosa, we're all for
we like
it.
Thunder Rosa. That's
Thunder Rosa is cool. She hasn't responded to my email, but she's probably cool.
She's responded to a couple of my tweets, which is why I like her. I like attention, if you haven't noticed. And
he bought a Thunder Rosa T-shirt,
even though it was
just
a small.
She liked this tweet.
Even though it was a small. If I raise my hands, it goes like up here.
You ordered a medium, right?
No, I ordered a small.
Oh, okay.
That's all I had. But I spent.
That's all they had.
I spent $30 on a badly fitting T-shirt, knowingly, and. No, it was great. Actually, a tweet on her wall is the one that's got us the most likes. It put me in contact with the wall.
Oh yeah,
the X-Men tweet.
X-Men
the one with Apocalypse.
You got like 40-something likes on that.
Yeah. So that kind of gave me one of the coolest interactions.
We wanted to ask you, we saw you guys don't have like a huge following on Twitter, but like, what is kind of your main promotional outlet for your show?
I think it is Twitter and Facebook mostly.
Yeah, we annoy our friends.
Yeah, like if you've ever seen Devoid Entertainment, which is our game show, cheap plug.
No.
Well, I mean, you guys are welcome on it at any time. Season 2 probably out now. We just have our friends on our game show.
I will only go on if the topic is wrestling matches I've never seen.
And by the way, I did not mean to shit on your follow count by any means.
We're very proud of our 13 followers, and
we really shilled for ours. Like we actually, I think, broke Twitter rules. So we did that thing where during Dynamite, I typed something or he typed something, and then someone would tweet us back or like it, and then we would click follow.
Yeah, at that point, it's just all we could do to get.
Well, and then Twitter came and they were like, "Yo, you're not supposed to do that."
I guess because we followed too many people in a day,
and then unfollowed them if they didn't follow us back.
Yeah. I noticed that, a lot of these wrestling, which first off, the wrestling podcast community has been wonderful.
Oh yeah, it's been super supportive.
But yeah, a lot of them, that have 5,000 followers also follow 4,000 people or 5,000.
Yeah, I mean, I heard of you guys because of the Good Cop, Bad Cop. You guys call them police, which I think is hilarious.
The police people.
I think that's
benevolent police officer, malicious police officer.
Radio. Yeah.
Well, when he was doing that shit, I'm like, I didn't realize he was fucking with me at first, and I'm like, God damn it.
We actually changed one of them too. Because I was like, I'm not dying on this hill for that joke. I called their Twitter handle "Police Brutality." I'm not dying on that hill.
Which I think didn't you make a police brutality joke on their show?
Oh God,
I think you did.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I heard you, and you guys were so funny on there, just messing with Matt, which is what I do on Twitter. That's all I do.
Yeah,
is mess with Matt on Twitter because I don't do Twitter. I really do Twitter for the podcast.
Yeah. That's how neither of us used it at all before this.
We get on kicks.
Yeah,
Sabian.
Yeah,
but yeah, we we'll get on a kick and
he was on fire the past couple of days.
Yeah, I just shrugged off work.
Yeah, if you saw the stuff in my drafts, I mean, I think funny people have the funniest shit in their drafts. So your drafts must be insane.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a bunch of sometimes it's on my phone. I'll start typing something and put it in my pocket because I don't know, I have something else to do. I don't know why I got distracted, but yeah, it'll save S.
Yeah,
or some sort of smattering of text on there.
Yeah, our drafts are crazy.
Yeah. Yes. What do you think Greg Goldman's drafts are like?
Oh my God.
Yeah, you guys should check out Greg Goldman.
He's our dude. Do you know Greg Goldman?
Yeah, he's our dude.
Never heard of him.
He's just some guy on Twitter.
He's from the Northeast.
He's a fan of ours.
Yeah, he's from the.
We love him. We've joked that he's our NXT correspondent because he'll tweet about it. But I did notice he recently tweeted specifically I am an AEW fan, which I thought was interesting.
Well, I think he kind of veered the other way. He was very critical. Worst AEW show ever.
Yeah.
What was that? That was December, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was not the Brody Lee show, was it?
No. That would be tight if Greg Goldman went that far.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. We mentioned Greg Goldman to Zach Shiloh too. He's like, "Who? Do you have 3 people that I can interview?" We're like, Greg Goldman.
Greg Goldman instant. Yeah, I hope he does. Yeah.
He's just a wrestling fan from New York. He's just a guy.
Well, we named our Goldman medal after him. We actually told him.
Yeah, we did. Which we forgot.
Yeah, we haven't done it. Yeah.
We did name an award after him on our show.
Yeah, the Greg Goldman medal. Yeah.
But we've never had a real conversation with the guys.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
We like his tweets. Like they always end up being at the top of our timeline.
And there's
my thumb is like magnetized that hard.
Oh yeah.
You know,
so some punctuation errors. We love you, Greg.
Yeah, we love him. It's better stop. You all live in a barn? Is there owls? They hoot, you know.
No, my college alumni, the alumni college that I graduated from in 2020, our mascot was the owl.
Was it
Temple?
Temple?
No. No. City State. What do we say it is, Derek?
Community College, City State University.
Yeah, at City State.
We had a barn on our campus.
Yeah, the red barn.
Yeah. Used to serve alcohol until someone gets stabbed, man. You know.
Wait.
Yeah, the red barn. It was like outside, like the big rec center and like the student center, and it was like an event space.
Yeah. You could like have like your your student organizations.
The red barn.
You could have your student organization's ice cream social there, but yeah, they used to serve beer there.
I remember there was a foam party there one time.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't be caught dead at a foam party at the red barn.
Oh yeah, it was during orientation when you've been there for an hour and you don't know anybody. They made you spend the night during orientation too. It was bunk.
Not the bread barn. Yuck. Hate that place.
Yeah.
I got stabbed there. I don't know.
You guys are in college / just graduated, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shit. How old are you guys?
I'm 22, about to be 23 in a couple months.
Right.
I'm 20, about to be 21.
Oh damn.
I'm 33, and you're probably what, 32?
47. We're in our 30s.
But
were you all plus 10 years? Look what you're going to turn into.
We're going to be from Kentucky.
Are you all going to have Sopranos posters and fucking beer taps and shit, you know?
And Windex and
Benadryl.
Yeah. This is my roommate owns this. My roommate owns the house, and we realized when we had one of these, just that there was
diphenhydramine. It's the active ingredient in Benadryl.
And there was Windex serving as the background, so we really wanted to accentuate it.
They're a drug of choice.
We love huffing Windex here.
We do that before every show.
At least till the Turner henchman catches.
Well, it helps you deal with the pressure.
Helps you get through the Go Big Show.
The Go Big Show was just spectacular programming, wasn't it?
It was thing. I looked at it with my eyes.
I think we've already said some bad. So let's again hope Ted and the execs aren't listening.
Well, I hope they didn't fucking.
Man, it was insane. Did you guys happen to watch? I don't know why anyone would.
It was sad.
I have yet to see this because I do have a job. I can only watch so much. And my mom wants me to watch Mr. Mayor on NBC.
Oh, it's got Ted Danson in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And she says it's horrible, but I need to see it.
Funny.
Yeah.
We were just dying at all the Go Big Show promotion last week during we were already planning to watch it for the show, and it's I think you made the point there was 5 minutes of Dynamite that our eyes weren't on fucking Go Big Show.
Yeah, and then it was just.
And as I started calling it when we first heard about it, it was Go Paul White.
I think Snoop Dogg should be on that show. Snoop Dogg did a whole.
He is on that show.
Yeah.
No, he should be a contestant on that show.
Oh,
he should judge that show. He should.
How many blunts can you smoke?
The one thing, when they pit two people, because it was a competition, a 1 versus 1, and the matchups were never really good for the voting, and their scaling system was completely fucked. The first people got a 96 and a 94 out of 100. So I'm sure they were
just right off the bat.
We went way too high for this, and then eventually at the end they were getting 80s and 70s. Yeah. And I thought like the dude
And you could just tell it was all predetermined.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing anything.
Oh, and the guy who got the lowest score is far and away the most interesting. He has like a body oxygen count of like 120%.
And you could just stick
Yeah,
cans to his
and
skin.
normally your body oxygen count is what, like 84?
Something like
So he's
that.
one of 4 people in the world who can like do this shit.
It was
And
just,
he got the lowest score by like 10.
it was
points.
just
It was
interesting.
fucked.
He had like
It was
cans
depressing.
on his face.
Yeah.
He called himself Canhead.
Yeah.
It was by far the most entertaining thing on the show.
Oh,
Got the
he
worst
lost to
score.
some woman who shot a fucking arrow with her feet.
Fire arrows
Yeah.
at their feet, which also was pretty tight,
Yeah.
honestly. Who got the second
Yeah,
worst?
but it's not the Go original show, unfortunately.
And then again, unless we are forced,
Yeah.
we will not be watching.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be fucking drinking some grain liquor when we have to watch Snowpiercer in a couple weeks.
Oh,
Yeah,
man, you're
that's
right.
another thing
That's
we gotta
the next
do.
one on the docket.
I
Right
think I've
up.
seen that movie before.
Yeah,
Because it was a movie, and I wasn't really happy with the movie because I was just like, how are they all alive after years? I'm not sure how the show works.
I've seen
I
like,
did not.
some of it, I think,
Yeah.
but I think it's just kind of a silly idea. It's
Oh,
like,
of
you know,
course.
let's do something like post-apocalyptic. Oh, you know, I got it.
Let's get
But
Sean Bean. too.
let's make a fucking screen that just runs around the world.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I mean, I think it like the movie is supposed to be like a metaphor for like class, like the poor people in the
Yeah.
back, which we know you all have poor people listening.
Poor people, they're on the fuck list, man.
Poor people fuck.
Yeah.
You know, whenever he told me about the fuck list, I was just like, does it mean like, you know, fuck them, or does it mean like they fuck?
I think it's like
Compliment,
I-
yeah.
See, the
It
great
could be
thing
both.
the great thing about the fuck list is that it's up to interpretation.
Yeah.
So most recently, for example, raisins are on the fuck list. So
Yeah,
if you
that's
want
what I
raisins,
Really?
That's the episode I listened to.
Really?
Right
if you
before.
want
Out of all
Yeah,
the trails I ate this year, like raisins grew on me. Like
Wow.
I picked like the last time I ate trail mix, the raisins were gone so quickly.
So
because I
raisins
started,
are on
like-
your fuck list for fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So on our fuck list is New Hampshire, like the state of New Hampshire.
Yeah, I heard
Ellen.
Ellen.
Yeah, Ellen easily, but we'll get to
Fuck
her.
Ellen.
Jake Paul,
Oh yeah.
Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Really? That's a Vermont thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure is.
What makes them bad? I'm curious because sometimes I like get it, you know.
Because $7 for like that much ice cream is not.
Yeah.
good
Oh,
ice cream.
yeah. Graders here, which is like the premium ice cream of Cincinnati. So
Yeah.
it's like $6 a
Yeah.
pint as well. Yeah.
It's
Well,
not worth it.
It's great ice cream, but yeah, I agree. It's just
Sometimes like the
expensive.
Ben and Jerry's flavors are too specific, and they're like, oh yeah, like I go in, I want chocolate chip cookie dough, but they're like, no, we got it with like mint
and it's a
and
fucking
like
core of
anchovies.
dough. in the
Yeah.
middle.
And it's sponsored by Jimmy Kimmel. Corona the beer,
Okay.
Yeah.
because that tastes like spoiled apple juice to me, at least. To
When
Derek,
did
it
the
doesn't
fuck
taste
list-
like anything.
When did the fuck list start?
Yeah, what originated it? What was your, you
Because
know?
we were just saying fuck New Hampshire because he's
Okay.
fucking.
Okay.
Okay.
And we were just like fuck New Hampshire. Like,
Yeah.
what has New Hampshire got? No sales tax? Like, that's not fucking special.
Feel that way about Indiana, right?
And the
And the
Steelers.
Steelers, yeah.
And North Kentucky probably.
Yeah. Which is everything north of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Everything north of Kentucky. Washington State, North
Yep.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
North Dakota, just the most North Kentucky.
Yep.
Greenland.
Santa Claus lives in the top Kentucky. He doesn't live in North Kentucky.
Northest
Top
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Santa Claus lives in the real Newport.
Yeah.
Watch Mojo,
What's
like
that?
watchmojo.com, like the top 10 lists.
Oh yeah, they're
Oh,
real high produced.
yeah,
you know,
good
like
call.
nerd
Yeah.
culture king. Yeah.
They make like 40 videos a day.
Me and my buddy Rich, I guess we have this plan where we're gonna like create a ghostwriter name and like try to write on that website screenrant.com that does like top 5, you know, Star Wars weapons that you never think are cool. You know,
That's
like these
funny.
like yeah. So we want to like create a pseudonym and like
That's
write like
sick.
a clickbait article that like both makes fun of clickbait, but both can like pass as an article. So like that's like a challenge we're trying to
Hell yeah.
complete. So
And Rich is our mutual friend.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we
yeah,
met
yeah, yeah,
At
actually,
that
yeah.
concert 8 years ago.
What is
Uh,
it?
And you guys, when you were 12, Derek.
yeah.
I was in high school, so I think I get a pass.
That is
This
great.
is in parentheses. We had a trial about this to be on the fuck list. Sunny D. I'm not sure your stance is on Sunny Delight, but is not delightful at all. It is
like buying
positively
orange juice
awful.
in a thing smaller than this. You know.
You had a trial about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it ended in a mistrial.
Yeah,
Wow.
we have to redo it. That's going to be later in the year. We're going to do it next summer. Or
Is
this
that
summer.
for, like this show or your game show or what?
Oh, it's part of the channel.
Okay, so you have a channel that has
Yeah,
very-
so like this, this channel. There's this podcast. We have our regular podcast. This is being the wrestling podcast.
Okay. What's the name of your channel then?
Specifically Devoid.
Okay.
And then there's
Which I guess I thought that's what
under the
this podcast. What podcast are we on?
We could really pass this off as anything at this point.
I thought up until this moment that we were on the Specifically Devoid podcast.
Yeah.
Guess what? We are. I just changed my mind. Guess who's editing that part out?
We're on a good episode of What Good Cop, Bad Cop now, actually.
Pandas. Pandas are on the fuck list.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember putting pandas on the fuck list. Do you?
Yeah,
No.
pandas are pretty tight.
Yeah.
Was it because they took away the WWE's name?
Yeah. Because WWF.
Yeah.
Get the F out. Get the F out of here, pandas. Who do you
Yeah. All right. At least that's a valid reason.
Poor people. Do I need to say more? Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah,
And of course the aforementioned raisins, because what are raisins really benefit? Like, what are the benefits of having a raisin? Just eat a grape. It's probably way healthier.
Bo, I guess, disagrees.
I don't
with
know,
you.
like they're good. Like the best things in the trail mix are the breaks from the salty. You know, if you're making trail
That's
mix,
fair.
you know, you
But would you eat a box of fucking raisins solo though?
No, I would.
Okay.
Like after I begun like appreciating the
and I don't mind
nutty bits
raisins.
of it. Yeah.
They wouldn't be on my fuck list,
yeah.
but I don't.
Well,
really
they
fuck
were
with
on
them.
my fuck list for a long time.
But you're right.
Yeah,
Grapes
yeah.
are way better, especially if you freeze grapes, frozen grapes, like taste
Chocolate covered grapes.
Yeah.
those too. But
Yeah.
just straight up frozen grapes taste like fruit snacks.
Have you ever had frozen blueberries?
I have. They're
great.
all great.
Like
yeah.
the potential for staining is like through the
Yeah,
roof.
yeah.
But you know,
Frozen strawberries.
the tide marker with you.
yeah, frozen fruit. Let's go.
Yeah.
Frozen chocolate bars too. Like,
Yes.
have
Oh
you
my
ever
god.
had,
So you know those wafers you can get that have like the strip of icing in the middle, and you get them in a pack, and they come with like a vanilla and a chocolate flavor and a strawberry.
Yeah.
If you put those in the fridge, it brings out that strip of icing tenfold.
Just the fridge.
Yeah, just the fridge.
Okay.
But yeah, cold chocolate, cold candy.
Yeah.
Like I got a cold Snickers bar always in my house.
Frozen
so-
Twix is like the peak of like
Mhm.
being 12 years old in the summer.
Mhm.
Which wasn't too long ago for Derek.
No, it was like last year.
Long ago for me.
Well, to continue off for your last episode, do we want to toss Mitch McConnell on the fuck list?
Oh yeah.
See, here's the thing. Mitch McConnell, like, big fuck list. Mitch McConnell making a face turn.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
True,
I was gonna say,
true.
do we have to be nice to him now that
I
he
know.
like made?
Like,
You're-
I know that, like,
relevant a week
But
ago.
he's not. You know, they're going to wait to reconvene after the inauguration.
right.
And it's all politically expedient for him. Like that dude is sort of, you know, like I hate to give
He's
him a compliment,
cash.
but he's like very mastermindy and like what's politically good for me.
For sure. I mean,
You
he's
know.
pulled strings for long enough to stay in
Yeah.
that position.
And like you know, like I've voted against him how many times? Like
Yeah,
three or four now.
Our
and it's
votes
just
don't
like,
count every year
Yeah.
that we vote against.
yeah. Well, and they like, and it's always kind of the same.
Yeah.
You know, except this year he had like a, you know, almost had like a different kind of
If
challenge.
Matt Jones would have run,
Oh
that
yeah,
would have been
or
fast
Booker, you know, but that he was really big during all the BLM stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll-
for you.
Yeah, I had a friend or two who were like interns for a woman who was running for Senate in Kentucky. I'm not sure her
Yeah.
name.
Breath, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she was running with Mitch against Mitch McConnell.
She was, yeah.
Oh,
She had one of those campaigns.
I'm
where,
a
like-
fighter pilot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a mom.
Oh yeah, and like every
Yeah.
single YouTube ad was her.
Yeah.
Like it was like, you know, the DNC gave her a lot of money and they just
It was not a very well run campaign.
Yeah, and I think
so
COVID made it worse too. Where she
sorry to
couldn't get
say
out.
to
Yeah.
your friend. but
Somebody spray painted.
I did
something.
vote for her, and I'm sure you did too.
I
but
did. I voted for Booker in the primary.
So did I.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck Booker.
But
I think he'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. But somebody defaced Mitch McConnell's house recently.
Yeah, and spelled where wrong.
Yeah. Where money? WERE.
Yeah, where's my money, bitch?
Yeah. So
I still haven't gotten my 600 stimulus of you.
I have
not gotten mine.
It's supposed to be $2,000. I'm pretty sure Joe Biden's trying to make it $2,000 now.
Yeah. That'll be tight. That'll help.
Yeah.
But
yeah, shit. Well, do we want to fire something on the fuck list? It doesn't need to be forced. I just concept.
I think Beaumont should put up the resolution to be on the fuck list because I feel like Beaumont's got a big fuck list right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you want me to name something on the fuck list?
You want to nominate a fuck list? Is there
nominate. Both of you can nominate something on the fuck list, and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Are we doing it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got to put us on the spot, like for my bad wrestling takes.
Yeah, man. I'll do one. Okay, so the Sharpies that aren't like markers, but they have like the little tips.
Oh,
with that. And, like, every time you have to write something, you have to rewrite it backwards because like the tip like fades.
I hate those things.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Here, I'll see if I can pull up a picture and show it to you. If
you always pick them up thinking it's a regular Sharpie, and then you're very disappointed.
I know what you're talking about.
All right, I'll pull up.
Derek clearly does.
All right. Yeah, they suck. I've had to deal with them this week. They stink. Sharpie ultra fine markers. Yeah. They are not ultra fine. And I know it.
Oh,
they're God damn it.
They're not a Sharpie, but they're not a pen either.
Guys, can you see them?
Yeah, those fucking things.
I'll flash up a picture for the audience so they can see.
Here, you see it? You see it now, yeah. It worked out with the little tip.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, but I feel like that's like specifically annoying though.
Yeah.
It's so bad though. Like I hate those things.
You have to rewrite stuff. Oh, so it needs to be something that's not normally annoying.
Yeah, because like raisins really just ruin. Like the reason that raisins on their fuck list because like potato salad and raisins. I'm not sure if that's like a delicacy in Kentucky, but like those fucking suck.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that. I'm like, I've never heard of such a thing, and I don't really eat potato salad. Yeah, so it's gotta be something that is like generally somewhat beloved at least by a group of people.
So like an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. It's very popular to hate Sunny D.
Okay.
I like Sunny D, but
Mitch McConnell. That's like a softball, I guess.
Yeah.
Like Trump would be a fucking softball.
Okay. Should I do the thing?
Do the thing.
That's a I have an air horn app on my phone.
Bo went off on Trump on our show. WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump.
Yeah, did you see that Mick Foley was just like you should get rid of him off your Hall of Fame?
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's calling.
Yeah, he tweeted that, and I was just like, wow, I didn't think Mick Foley did politics.
Yeah. I saw one of his stand-up shows here in Cincy like 5 years ago. It was pretty fun. It was pretty good. Mm-hmm. He's a hoot. Just off topic. I don't know. I guess we'll probably have to get back to you on this now that we know like the true parameters of the
fuck list could really be anything. The fuck list is up to your imagination.
Yeah.
It's got to be at least somewhat of an unpopular.
Right. It's got to be. There's looking around the room for inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like here's a softball. Like I can't put it on because it's part of my other show shtick. But The Big Bang Theory, like fuck The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, like that again. I feel like that's too softball.
Oh yeah.
Softball. Yeah.
It's if you that show.
It's like what makes me hate it worse is at one family Christmas, my grandma was like, I just love watching those nerds, and then she was like, you know what you remind me of, Beaumont? And it was
fucking Sheldon.
Yeah, yeah.
God.
Actually, that show with the his girl from The Big Bang Theory. Waving this thing around, playing it at you. Yeah,
you heard it.
She's in a show called Call Me Cat that takes place in Louisville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know she's in a new show called The Flight Attendant.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not the blonde,
Kuko,
but the girl who ultimately gets with Sheldon.
I don't know.
I heard about that. She's like she's not a stand-up comic.
Yeah,
but it feels like she is. She's got like she's like single and like that's like her character trait.
Yeah. She opens a cat cafe.
Oh, I did hear about
that takes place in Louisville.
Okay, I did hear about that. I actually met, so there's a cat cafe that just opened in Covington.
Shit would make me fucking sneeze.
Same owner as Louisville, actually. So,
really?
Yeah, how about that?
Wow.
Shoot. Well, yeah, we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe that's what we should do with every.
Cats there, but I feel like I might pour some salt moon or something.
I feel like cats could go on the fuck list.
Okay, yeah, I'm much more of a dog person, and the program where I came from, like everybody was a cat person. Everyone was like, "Look at my cat," and they, had their cute thing with their cat, and I was like, "Oh, that's."
I was never much of an animal, just because I didn't grow up having pets. Like nothing against animals, but like I grew up allergic to cats, but kind of outgrew it. And I would say like Vetter has the baby cats, and
they were super annoying.
Yeah. But I've kind of become more of a cat person when they're not like crazy like that.
Yeah,
They're just chill.
Yeah.
And I'm not allergic to them, but I mean I'm not against it being on the fuck list.
Absolutely, Cats the animal, not the musical.
Possibly the movie, because that Cats movie.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Apparently, there's a cut of it called the butthole cut.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
It's an entire cut.
A great article about that.
Oh, yeah.
It's an entire cut where their buttholes are animated in. That's it.
Yeah.
Someone
did that?
I think that was one of
the cuts. Some studio executive
because they pulled it from theaters and then fixed the animation and like put it back into theaters.
There's this statue in Louisville of this guy on a horse that was recently taken down because they found out he owned slaves, and they took his ass down. And but before that, you could see it was in a turnabout or a roundabout, and whenever you pull up, if you looked at it the right angle, you could see, and they put the horse's fucking ass right in on it, anatomically correct.
Someone had to sculpt that.
They did, yeah. Before they did the tail.
Somebody had to in planning be like, "Do we add the horse asshole?"
I think we got it.
Yeah.
Maybe we should take it out, and then the director was just like, "No, it stays."
Shit. This was wonderful.
Yeah, this was one. All of the
Thank you so much for coming, Brett and Bo.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. We feel under the specifically Devoid officially.
The specifically Devoid dome.
Yes.
There it is. We're under the dome, baby.
Under the dome. Always welcome back. Welcome to the you guys can come on the game show. Go head to head.
Love to come on the game show. Yeah.
You guys can go head to head because now the new format is 1v1 instead of a 5-way.
All right, we'll go at it.
Let's go.
Make sure the topic is wrestling matches I've never seen.
If it's anything else, I'm gonna get smoked.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much for you guys to be on. Tell everybody where we can find you on social media land.
Right now, just Twitter at BrainBuster Boys, and as you mentioned at the beginning, we are now part of the Visionaries Global Media Podcast Network.
Under the veranda.
Under the VGM veranda.
Yes, we are. And we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google and iHeartRadio. I put us on there and I forgot.
So all those places. But Twitter, the only official social media to this point. We will likely be adding in more, but that is it.
Yeah.
Goodbye. I love you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
This was sweet.